Hello.
Good morning, Riana. It's Jamie Siracusa.
Good morning, Jamie. How are you?
Great. How are you this still beautiful morning?
Wonderful. I'm always happy when the sun is shining. What can I say? It's another day. You know, it's another day we're blessed with. So every day's a good day.
We've had a great couple days.
Yes, I did. It's been a very busy week, and training seminar, another interview to perhaps teach it for another college that I would feel very honored to do so, and lots of therapy clients and planning for my next singles event for coaching. So always a lot going on.
You are busy.
Busy is good.
Yeah. So as I had mentioned before, I'm calling, with the Business Excellence Center and a series that we're posting on our website called South Jersey Leaders, Mentors, and Heroes. And yes, and you happen to be one. I've known you for a lot of years, and one, you're a leader. Two, certainly you're a mentor. And I'm sure with the work that you do that you're probably a hero to some. And, you're the first caller that I've had that falls into all three categories.
Thank you, Jamie. I don't know if I would consider myself a hero. Mentor, job coach, I'd like to think that, and leader, that would be quite an honor to be considered that as well. So thank you for considering me for your program. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So what I thought we would do, I wanted to find out, tell us a little bit about what you're working on currently. You just touched on a couple things, but what's a week or a day in the life of Riana Milne look like these days?
Okay. Well, maybe I'll start with a week. Primarily, I am a psychotherapist, a marriage and family counselor, and a drug and alcohol addictions counselor. So Monday through Friday, I'm pretty busy in my private practice called Therapy by the Sea. It's a very private and holistic office that I have behind my home. So when clients come here, they get a very private atmosphere. It's very holistic. Yes, I have soft lighting and aromatherapy candles and green tea when they come. So I try to make it a very holistic and calming experience from the moment they walk into the door. That's the main part of my week. On Wednesdays, once a month, I provide coaching for singles in transition, and that's for single folks from ages 35 to 60, getting back out there into the dating world, trying to analyze and correct past mistakes from prior relationships, and at this current time in their life become the best person they can be so that they are a very good, viable partner for the person that they want to meet. And this program is all based on certification I just finished in the past year through Relationship Coaching International. So I am certified to be a singles coach and also a couples coach. And within my therapy practice, my style is often very active as well. I'm not a therapist that just sits back and says, how do you feel about that? I'm one that's really solution-focused and brainstorms and coaches and keeps people involved in their own health and healing, like giving small homework assignments like, you got to go watch The Secret DVD this week, and next week we're going to discuss it, things like that. So the business coaching events are once a month for the singles, and they've been at various venues throughout Atlantic County so that they can have an opportunity to also socialize, have cocktails, and try some food from these great establishments that we go to. And that's usually the second Wednesday of the month, so I always prepare for that. And also on the weekends, I am an interfaith minister, so I do marriage ceremonies and civil unions and vow anniversary renewals, that type of thing. So, and also occasionally I am hired as a speaker based on my book, Watch Me, The Bold New Motivational Attitude for Personal Success. So various corporations will hire me, or clubs, civic groups, to come in and do a motivational speech depending on the flavor of what they may need. For example, last spring in the real estate slump, I came in and I did a whole speech called the Watch Me Attitude for Realtors for the Cape May Board of Realty Association. And about a month or two ago, I went into the Social Security Administration and did a stress relief seminar because there's very many claims coming in and the employee count is down. So the employees are kind of stressed with extra work at this time. So they call me, they tell me their needs, and then I tailor the speech around it. And then actually the past 3 Saturdays, not the last one, but in September and 1st of October, I was teaching for Stockton College, the LCADC course, which is Licensed and Certified Alcohol and Drug Addictions Counseling. Future counselors for the state of New Jersey, that's a state program that actually that credential now can go international. So I am an LCADC and part-time professor instructor for Stockton. So that's my past month. That's the kind of schedule I stick to.
It's such fulfilling work. You must love it.
I do love it. People say, oh, you have 5 jobs. And I said, well, they're really one job. The job title is helping people. So they're all interrelated. I do love motivating people, so that's a common element, and teaching holistic growth, whether it's career counseling I'm doing, which I've done a lot of in the past 6 months here at my therapy center, or, motivating a single person to get back out there and find the person of their dreams. So it's all happy work for me.
Now, let's talk a little bit. We're definitely going to touch on some of the professional topics, that relate to some of our success work here at the center. But why don't you tell me a little bit about you? Now, tell me a little bit about your parents. Are your parents alive?
My father passed, unfortunately, of cancer. Is an amazing man.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He taught me the lesson of the 5 Ds. His name is Jack Milne, and he was a nationally ranked and well-known athlete in track and field in his day. And as Dad was passing, we didn't know, but he told us he was an FBI and CIA agent. So we didn't know. My mom didn't even believe it. And then we got letters from Ronald Reagan and William Casey thanking my father for his wonderful years of service to the United States. So he was an amazing guy. Yeah, and he said, honey, in life, if you've got the 5 Ds, you can do anything.
Share those with us.
Sure. Drive, determination, dedication, desire, and dare to dream. So I always use that in a speech. If you've got the 5 Ds, you can do anything. If you break each one of them down, it's a lesson I try to live by in all my work endeavors that I undertake. And, of course, this is part of the Watch Me attitude, which is what the book is about. And if I can segue into the book a little bit, Jamie, it's the subtitle is okay, it's The Bold New Motivational Attitude for Personal Success. So the title is really bold, like watch me. And I remember as a young person, people say, oh, you can't do this. You will never be a writer. You'll never do a book. You'll never be a therapist. You don't have the time, or, how are you going to go back to school? And I just kept saying, watch me. And when my models and actors were told you're not pretty enough, you're not talented enough, I taught them the watch me attitude. I have a great story of a young man who was an auto mechanic in Erie and barely got out of high school, and he wanted to be an actor. And he came to me petrified about going through school because I don't know if I can do this, and I want to be a model. And I said, actually, Michael, you have the perfect Baywatch look. He was well-built with long blonde hair and blue eyes, a big white smile. I said, I totally can see you on Baywatch. And he laughed because I've never acted at all. I couldn't do that. I said, you can do anything you want to do. I said, you just open your mind to it, be willing to learn, and let me help you. So, long story short, he did go off to a convention, a Models and Talent Convention. I placed him with a top agent in L.A., and a couple months later, he's on Baywatch. So it's a neat story because he said, once he got immersed in the program, I taught him the watch me attitude. A lot of people, especially back at the shop, were laughing, yeah, Michael, you're going to be on TV. Yeah, right. He said, watch me. So it's not a defiant attitude. It's an inner knowing, and it's practicing goal setting and a spiritual approach. And doing what necessary steps you have to do to to learn, get the education, but it's a very keen sense of purpose and focus to do whatever it is you have to do. And the second story regarding the Watch Me attitude is with my own adult daughter, Alexi Panos. She modeled. She actually grew to be at 5'11", so she had the physical attributes to model. And but she also wanted to do acting and singing. And the very late age, we got her into singing. At around 15, she went to interview with one of our local producers, Rodney Jerkins, who I'm very good friends with her family today. And Rodney and his brother Fred Jerkins, they interviewed over 350 girls, auditioned them, and they chose 3, and Lexi was one of the 3. And she wanted to be a singer, and her dad said, "You think you can be a singer? That's a joke." And she got very upset and kind of entered into some defiance, and I took her aside, and I said, "Lexi, you can do whatever it is you dream to do. You know the Watch Me attitude. I'll help you with this. We can do this. If you know you can do it, then I believe you can do it also." And I said, "You're talented and intelligent. You can do whatever it is you want." So long story short with that one, she did audition for a Grammy Award-winning artist named Ja Rule. I met him in South Beach, made an introduction a couple weeks later, and she was at the Teen Choice Awards, and I was all thrilled. Mom saw her daughter on TV, and she traveled the world singing with Ja Rule, which took her into Africa. And she came back at 19, and she goes, "Mom, I have to do something to help the folks in Africa. These people are starving. They're dying." And she says, "But what can I do? I'm just an everyday kid. I'm 19. I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I don't have a lot of money." And I said, "Sweetheart, you'll figure it out. Just pray on it and think about it and see what you can do." So she formed a charity called EPIC, Everyday People Initiating Change. And you can see more on her great work in Africa at epicthemovement.org. And she was starting this project. I was starting to write my book. And I said, "Lexi, I'd like you to write a portion of this Watch Me book for you because you wanted to be a singer. Within a couple of years, you were desired to be signed by Rodney Jerkins and Darkchild Productions and Ja Rule and Murder, Inc. Records. And then you took that work into doing work to help the world, and you're 19 years old. And you didn't let anyone tell you you couldn't or bring you down. You used a Watch Me attitude. So she wrote a good portion of the back of the book as a young person who used this method and reached great success with it. And bringing us to the present, Lexi has now 4 water wells in Africa. Each water well is supplying fresh running water to about 5,000 people per village. She's worked with the UN down in Africa. She has been backed by Quicksilver Clothing Line, the women's division, who has, with their charity, given $10,000 in 2 different checks to the EPIC charity. And Lexi's doing great in her career. She lives up in the New York City area, and she is a host for a TV show called Beer Money. It's a sports trivia show that's very popular in SNY, which is Sports New York TV. And she is a model, a size 6 model for Kenneth Cole's Fashions, and does print work. She's on billboards and magazines, and still doing her charity work. So she is 25 today, and part of the proceeds of Watch Me go to the EPIC charity, and the other half goes to a fund I've established called the Riana Milne Performing Arts Scholarship Fund. And anyone 8th grade and over can apply for scholarship. It is based on academic achievement, since both of my girls were straight A students. But a lot of kids, even though they do well in school, there's no scholarships out there for the arts, or very limited funds, especially the arts that aren't school-related, like modeling or, Stefana went into photography. And that is my 26-year-old daughter, Stefana Panos. She's also amazing. She is now the top supervisor and trainer for JetBlue Airlines in Orlando, and she has her own photography business, which is doing very well, too. So both my girls ended up in the arts and being very keen businesswomen.
And that's 2 excellent mentor stories, because I'm sure they got their drive and their inspiration and their dedication to their to the things that they love from you because you've pursued that as well.